Building up to that launch was really, really nerve-wracking. So talk about fear, it was crazy because you had the feeling of not only I quit my good-paying, stable job, right. I have a wife and kids and a mortgage, but you also have this feeling of we're putting it out there on Kickstarter. So we're actually going out, we're asking our friends and family to A, support us, and B, they're gonna see how successful we are or are not. And that's pretty scary, knowing that everyone's gonna see how successful you are or aren't. And so that fear for weeks before our launch kept, I think, both of us up at night. And you know, it also is what drove us and continues to drive us to work really hard day and night to make sure that we're doing the best we can to make our product successful. Because when you launch a consumer-facing company, all your friends and family see your success and failures, and you want it to be successful for not only yourself and for your family, but also just for your own brand, if you will.
Yeah, I think there's obviously the fear every day of success as it can come or not come, and then, and as Dave mentioned, you're worried about are people analyzing those successes and failures, and are we carrying that with us? And I think our personalities are different, so we deal with that in different ways, and certainly deal with it in different ways. One might say that Dave wears it a little bit more on his sleeve than I do, which is probably pretty true. So I think you're concerned about that, and then I think coping with fear, what you have to realize is that there's a lot of stuff within the entrepreneurial space or within the creative space where nobody really has it figured out. And it's really easy to look at other companies and think, well, they've done it right, or another person, and think, oh, they've been successful at it, but you don't know what their journey is, and they don't know what our journey is. I think it's interesting. Like, design is something that is a big part of what we stand for. I think design thinking, which is probably more commonly used as a term, is something that is core to what we've built. And I think our thing is just what are the essential functions of something and how do we build around that, which is a really refined design skill. And the fact that when people see it, their reaction is, wow, that makes sense. Like that's meaningful, and it means that, okay, we're onto something and we've done the right thing. And then that's the feeling people have, which I think as a creator, that's extremely important.
That great moment of, why didn't I think of this, or where has this been?
Yeah, and when people are like, yeah, that it just shows, okay, you know, of course, like for anybody who's an artist or a creative, everybody just sees the final product. There's no art show that shows the 500 iterations that never made it. But if at the end somebody says, I get it, that's great, and they feel that, and then once they use the product, they go on a ride, then they say, okay, oh, you've thought of this, and you've thought of this, and you've thought of that. You're like, okay, great, like, we've done it. You know, and that's the right thing. Let's keep going.